Welcome back, everyone. There's a new fantasy horror movie that's out there. It's called Dust Bunny, and here to talk about that are Bart and Jennifer Mills, our local movie reviewers. Welcome, Bart and Jen.
Good morning.
All right, so Dust Bunny. This is obviously not something that you find under your bed, hopefully, but...
You don't want this dust bunny under your bed, that's for sure. All right, so this is coming from the incredible mind of Bryan Fuller. If any of you remember the 2007 TV show called Pushing Daisies with Lee Pace, let's go back in time here. If you've ever seen Pushing Daisies, when you see this movie, you're going to know immediately it's the same director, the same creator, because it's just very fantastical, lots of colors, lots of patterns, just absolutely gorgeous to look at. So we have 8-year-old Aurora, who believes that she has a monster under her bed that has eaten her family. And so she hires her mysterious neighbor across the hall, played by Mads Mikkelsen, to kill the monster. And that's pretty much the premise of the movie.
Yeah. So when I read the description of this, I almost thought it sounded like a children's book.
Well, it is very, you know, it's funny because I was joking about the fact that it's kind of a twisted Matilda, because you have this precocious 8-year-old at the center of things, and there's a lot of fantasy element to this. There's a lot where, as a viewer, you're not certain throughout whether or not you're really actually supposed to believe that the story is happening, whether this is a monster or whether there are people that are actually the problem, who the monsters might be. So it is a very dark thriller, but it's a dark fantasy. It's not really a child's movie, but it's kind of written like it, and it certainly looks like it. Again, you have these amazing visuals, just broad swaths of color, just unique uses of patterns, just perspectives thrown about all over the place. So it's kind of fascinating to watch. Okay, so this movie is rated R, and it's also 1 hour and 46 minutes. So it's a little bit shorter than what seems like is out there these days. You know, let's go to our favorite website, which is, of course, what? Rotten Tomatoes. Yes. Yes.
I'm never going to say it.
So Rotten Tomatoes, they gave this movie an 81% audience approval rating, which is pretty good, I would say.
Solid for Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I think it's had a sort of honestly, a fairly long run in the theaters. It's kind of the 7th movie down on the list at the movies. I don't know that it's been hugely popular. Mads Mikkelsen is a guy that you best know from Hannibal. He's Danish, I believe. Some sort of European dark, you know. So it's funny because this is such a sort of an absurdist fantasy piece. He really anchors it, but he's not a guy that's going to lead a movie most of the time. So there's nobody other than Sigourney Weaver who shows up in sort of a minor part. There are not really any big names in this movie. So it's really one of those things that I think is probably going to take off when it hits streaming, because I feel like once people get a taste of it, I think there's going to be a broader audience for it.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I had not heard of this movie until we brought it up, and I thought, I really have to research this, and it just seems interesting.
Yeah, interestingly enough, too, I didn't realize this until looking into it, but Bryan Fuller, because I'm not a Star Trek guy, but Bryan Fuller kind of has made his bones over the last couple of decades writing and creating for Star Trek. He actually came up with the concept for Voyager, I believe, or Deep State, one of those. And so he's been involved in that world. So he does a lot of writing. So those Star Trek folks out there are probably going to see some, or at least hear some familiar lines.
All right. So let's go to the big reveal here. Are we giving this movie a big thumbs up, a thumbs down, or just somewhere in the middle?
I loved it. I just thought it was really, really charming. I would love to have some of this little girl's clothes, oh my Lord, or her bedding. Like, whoever did the set design and the costume design was just so fantastical and out of the box, just beautiful to look at.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I think it's, again, it's not going to be a massive hit. It's one of those kind of sleeper movies that you just kind of stumble across sometimes because there's frankly nothing else in the theater I wanted to see. And it was a really pleasant surprise. So I give it a thumbs up.
All right, so 2 thumbs up for the movie Dust Bunny. Well, Bart and Jen, thanks so much for coming out today. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Well, don't go away because we have more and we return.